So we're going to start in a bridge base today. So laying down, hips down, feet down, knees up. As I get all my last little things ready. If you need me, type in the chat box. Or if there's something special you'd like. We are doing a little work today, stabilizing and strengthening the hips and the pelvic girdle. It's kind of my theme for today. So come to a bridge base. You can take the feet wide and the knees together, or you can just take a traditional bridge base and feel the length of the spine on the floor. That is your very first task in practice today. Feel the length of the spine on the floor. That's all. Breathe with that. Allow yourself to settle in and arrive here in this place. Notice the rhythm of the breath. And let the morning go. Whatever's already happened in your day, whatever's coming up next can wait. You've carved out space for yourself today. So let's take full advantage of it. Get really present. And as we start by connecting to the ground and connecting to breath, our own bodies, our own selves, take a moment to set a mantra or an intention for today's practice. Intention in Sanskrit is sankalpa. There's your word of the day. The why that got you on the mat today. Why are you on your mat right now? Or maybe it's simply something that you are putting your energy and attention towards off the mat, and you want to cultivate it in practice as well, whether that's grace for yourself or generosity of spirit or joy or abundance. So often in our Western culture, we recognize, or we hear the word abundance and we automatically think wealth and stuff. There's so much more to abundance than that. If you were abundant in your life, what would that look like for you? An abundance of joy, an abundance of love and caring. Lots of things can create that sense of abundance. So find what works, what's resonating with you today. Maybe it's more around your health or wellness or healing in your body. It's a great intention. So we're going to breathe some life into this intention today, together. Stay right as you are. I shall join thee on the mat. Go ahead and separate the feet at least hip distance apart, maybe even a little wider than that. Then let's just start with an easy windshield wiper. So very small, very slow tilt, noticing what's happening through the back of the pelvic girdle, the back side of the hips. We are massaging through the sacral bones, right? The sacrum, which are the very lowest vertebra in our spine. They are fused and they make up the very back side of our hips. So we're rolling through. How does that feel? Does it change how it feels if you pull the belly in towards the spine a little more and strengthen the front of the core as you shift? Maybe so, maybe no. Won't know unless you try. And I'm not trying to get my knees all the way to the earth here, and I'm moving very, very slowly. And the next time the knees come up to center, we're just going to let them stay. Take the right knee into the right hand and the left knee into the left hand. Maybe lift the tailbone up, gently set the low back down. So we've created some space there. And maybe you want to rock a little side to side or circle around to the right. You can do that too. Use the hands to guide the knees, keeping those knees squeezing in. And then if you're going to the right, swing it the other way, go around to the left. And settle back in. Excuse me, hands on shins. Peel the nose up towards the knees. Maybe separate the feet a little, circle the ankles, point and flex. Notice that even with the hands on the shins here, the muscles, the abdominal muscles, rectus abdominis, are starting to turn on a little bit to hold the upper body up, which is good because that's what I'm going for. Hold on to the right knee here and extend the left leg out. Notice what happens in the low back. Can we squeeze the abs like we're pushing our back down? Just pause. You've got a nice grip on the shin. You're holding on. If this becomes too much, bring the head, neck, and shoulders down. And then ease that left leg back in. Squeeze the left leg, let the right leg go out. The head, neck, and shoulders are up and off the earth here. And the chin is keeping a neutral back of the neck. So you don't need to tuck it all the way down, but I don't want you craning to look up either. Sort of find this nice in-between space. And then come back in, and we're just going to switch sides. We'll reach the left out and come back in. We'll reach the right out and come back in. Moving with your breath. Again, head, neck, and shoulders can come down if you need to drop your intensity level a little bit. Really mindful what's happening in that low back. You need to engage the abdominals to push the spine down. Otherwise, it wants to pop up and lift. And then you're using low back muscles and not abdominal muscles. And draw it all back in. Release the head, neck, and shoulders down. Maybe turn the head a little side to side. If you notice some tension in the neck, bring the fingertips to the back of the neck. Give yourself a little bit of love. And then we're going to reach the hands up towards the sky. Bring the legs up. You can flex or point your feet. Just try not to let the little footies be sort of dead space here. You'll notice that my knees come slightly in towards my chest here, because this position right here, I can keep my low back really engaged down into the earth. If I stack my knees over my hips, my low back has a really hard time staying down. And I would rather bring the knees a little closer and make that connection of back to earth easier, because it helps protect my back from getting hurt or from being used when it's not the muscle I'm looking for. If I was a Jedi, I would say this is not the muscle you're looking for. Okay, right thumb, left toes, touch down. I'm keeping everything bent, starting small. Left thumb, right toes, touch the earth, rise back up. Side to side, moving with the breath. Inhale to expand. Exhale, come back to center. So maybe we slow it down a little bit. Use a whole inhale to come down to the earth and a whole exhale to come back up. Just one more. Left hand, right toes, come all the way back up. Wiggle the fingers, circle the wrists. Pull the abs in tight. Push that low back all the way down. And then we'll draw the knees in, one squeezy hug, and lengthen both legs out. Reach the hands up overhead if that serves, and you can do it without hitting a kitty. Let the heart lift up. Let that curve in the low back rise up a little bit. Yawn and shift and stretch. And move. And then we're going to make our way up to tabletop, all fours. So get there in a way that just feels good for you, however you want to do it. Yoga is not one size fits all. Hi, Mindy. She so digs this blanket, in case you guys can't tell. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, fingerprints gripping into the mat. So we've established when we take shoulders over knees, hips over, or shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, those are the bones of the body stacking, right? That sacred geometry that creates a nice base. Now let's engage some muscle along that bone to help hold our body in this position. So muscles of the front body, between the collarbones, down the front of the ribs, into the abs, need to push up. So we can open the shoulder blades across the back, and the belly is nice and strong here. You might even find it works better for you if you push the tops of the feet into the mat, or tuck the toes so that you're engaging the muscles in the legs as well, glutes, quads, and hams. Notice how engaging muscle makes this a very active shape. It is not just, okay, I've propped into this pose and I'm kind of dumped down here. It's got a lot of lift. When you find that, drop the belly, lift the head, heart, and hips. Exhale, roll through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, roll through chin to chest. One more, low belly. Chin to chest. And now keeping that muscle engagement, maybe we start to go off the rails a little bit, look left and right, shift the hips, circle them around, move the rib cage. At some point, you might pick up one hand and shake out the other. Maybe we nod the head yes and shake it no in cat pose with the shoulder blades really wide. And we're going to settle into the center, coming back, double checking your alignment, making sure nothing shifted. Excuse me. Reach the right foot back and tuck the toes under. And then we're going to lift the right leg up and touch the toes down. Lift the right heel up. Drop the toes down. Strong, strong core here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. Just a tap. One more lift. Hold. Pull the heel in. Extend the leg out. Heel in. Leg out. Heel in and hold. Push the heel up. Little pulses. Tiny little. Let's say hello to our hamstrings. But we're also strengthening the ligaments and tendons in the hip that are stabilizing us. Happy, happy, joy, joy. And release. Bring that right knee back down. Left leg goes long. Inhale and lift. Exhale, touch the toes down. Lift and tap down. Lift and tap down. Lift, tap it down, and we got this lift and hold. Squeeze the heel in, release the leg out. Squeeze in, release it out. In and release. Last time, squeeze it and hold. And give me those little tiny pulses. Glutes and hamstrings, strong belly, shoulders are still pulling up and open. You got 10 seconds. Little pulses. You got it. You got it. And we release all the way down. Child's pose. Let's get off the wrists for a moment. Maybe turn the palms up. Wiggle the fingers. Circle through those wrists. And pause. Take a couple of quick breaths right here. Inhale, rise back up to tabletop, reset the knees. And this time we're going to lift the right knee out to the side. We're going to keep the leg bent. And bring it down. Lift the right knee. And bring it down. Lift the right knee and hold. See if you can't tap your elbow and push that leg back. Knee stays lifted. Tap the elbow, slide it back, tap the elbow, and put it down. Left knee lifts out. Reach it up, pull it down. Stay nice and balanced through both palms here. Lower, lift, lower, lift and hold. Just 3 times, bring that knee forward. Tap the elbow, push it back, tap, and push back, tap, and set it down. Knees together this time, child's pose. Palms come up behind you next to your feet. Take a little breath, wiggle the wrists, turn the head side to side. And then bringing the hands forward, looking forward, lifting back up. We got one last little drill here, and then we're going to move on, guys. We're going to take nice big hip circles. So the right foot's going to lift. Take the right knee up and around. Again, see if you can't stay balanced in both hands here. Soften the back of the neck. Couple of circles one direction, and then go back the other way. Big circles. Strong belly. And we'll put that right foot down, right knee down, left foot comes up, big circles. And then we'll go the other way. And then we'll bring it down. Keep the knees hip width apart. And we're going to walk the hands back a little bit so that we can step the right foot forward. So look, we just found our way into low lunge. Isn't that exciting? The hips are neutral forward here. And we're going to reach the hands all the way up to the sky. And as we exhale, keep the foot and the right knee where it is, but turn your heart towards the left side of the mat. This is kneeling warrior. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open through the hips. So the joints are stacked to hold us in place, but we're going to have to use some of the muscles and tendons in the hip girdle itself in order to pivot and open. Give me just one more lift and open and hold it right here. This alignment in your hips, wherever your hip bones are pointing, that is neutral for you in this position, right? The right knee staying open. This left hip is nice and anchored because we're grounded. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, interlace the hands behind. And we're going to fold forward onto that right thigh. You can get the hands a little lift here if you want to work into the shoulders. So we're thinking, don't look, change your gaze, you'll fall over. This is like a kneeling humble warrior here. So you can keep the hands low or give them a little lift. Release the hands, press through that front leg, rise back up. Release the right knee back. Bring the left foot forward. Get established. Left knee, left ankle, right hip. See how I want to lunge? I like crescent lunge. Can you tell? My hips want to go this way, but I'm really trying to stay stacked, nice and tall. Core is pulled in. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, pivot the hips open. Warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, pivot open. Keep that left knee pulling in, pulling away from the midline. Inhale, lift. Open it up. Stay here for a breath. Find what that neutral alignment feels like. Feel the inner thighs still working. They're pushing in towards each other like scissors pulling in together. Inhale up. Exhale, interlace. And then we'll fold forward towards that left knee. The hands can stay resting at the tailbone, or they have the option of lifting. Release the hands, rise all the way back up, step the left knee back. Hands to the earth, tuck the toes, up and back, downward facing dog. And pedal it out. Sometimes down dog just feels fabulous. Really give yourself permission to move here. If you're looking for a lovely shoulder stretch, you might settle into a slightly wider base. So take your feet a little wider than hips. Slide the right hand back. Turn the right hand to face the left side of the mat and slide the left arm through. Oh, good grief. The right arm through between left hand and left foot. And release. Put it back in its place. Maybe slide left hand back, turn left fingers to the right, slide through. It's a little variation on three-legged dog. And release, pedal it out. Realize that you forgot to sweep the floor before you put your yoga mat down. Never a good idea with kitties. Okay, bring the feet in hip width apart. We're gonna lift the right foot up. And step the right foot up between the thumbs. Pivot the left heel in towards the midline. Get established here, press up. Find your base first, warrior one. Now we're gonna inhale, lift and pivot open, warrior two. Get ready for it, pivot back, warrior one. Pivot open, warrior two. Come forward, warrior one. A little shift in that back leg, forward, warrior two. Pivot it back, warrior one. Interlace the hands behind and fold forward, humble warrior. Again, the thumbs can rest at the tailbone here. Press all the way back up. Warrior one. Paint big line with the hands all the way to the ground. Step it back, downward facing dog. And reach that left foot up. That same motion that we took from tabletop at the beginning, right? That same extension. Use the muscles. Step the left foot up between the thumbs. Pivot the right heel in, solid base, and then we sweep up. Warrior one. Pivot open, warrior two. Pivot forward, warrior one. Turn open, warrior two. Warrior one. Last time, warrior two. Notice that same alignment of the hips, standing versus grounded. And pivot last time back, warrior one. Exhale, the hands come behind. Put the other thumb on top if you can. Push down, roll forward. And again, the thumbs can rest at the tailbone, or you can reach the hands up if you want to open up the shoulders. Release the hands, press through that front heel, rise up, reach the hands up, warrior one. Paint two big stripes all the way to the ground. Step it back, downward facing dog. Guys are doing good. Walk your dog out for a moment. And then rise up on the tiptoes, all the way to the ball joints of the toes. Bend the knees really deeply, heart to thigh, look at the top of the mat. Walk it up, forward fold, let it go. Keep a bend in the knees. Maybe the feet come a little wider than the hips here. Take a little ragdoll if you want to sway. At some point, maybe you bring the feet closer together, more narrow than the hips. Bend the knees generously and step the left foot outside the right. And forward fold here. And release, left foot comes back. Step the right foot behind, outside the left. One side, you're going to have a little more room to move than the other. And release the right foot back to center. Inhale, palms to shins, belly strong, lift the back up. Exhale, soften, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, think low chair, drop the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Little palate cleanser here. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Step back to tabletop or plank, yogi's choice. In table, you take cow-cat. You can plank, you can hold your plank, or you can take a vinyasa, pressing forward and lowering down, Kishu through cobra or up dog. We're all gonna meet in downward facing dog. Open the toes, soften the knees. Walk or hop at top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe all the way up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Tabletop or plank, yogi's choice, checking on you. Do your thing, cow-cat, hold your plank. You can take a child's pose here if that feels good. You can flow through your vinyasa if that feels good. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Up on the toes, walk or hop at top of the mat. Forward fold. Very nice. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, lower the hips, thinking chair pose. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time, move with our meditation. Breathe all the way up. We're going to add on at the end. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale and lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Table or plank, yogi's choice. Do your thing. Meet me in downward facing dog. Holding downward facing dog, we're going to lift the right foot up to the sky and step the right foot up between the thumbs. Pivot the left heel in. Rise up, find warrior one. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, lunge. Pivot open, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, interlace behind. Inhale, fold forward, humble warrior. Release the hands, rise back up. Find your warrior two. Pivot to high lunge. Paint two big lines all the way forward and down. Step the back foot to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low chair, flat back, hips are low. Inhale to sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, deep breath up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Tabletop or plank, do your thing. And just because you took plank last time, doesn't mean you have to take plank this time. Choose what feels good this time through. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Left foot inhales up. Feel the muscles in the core and the hips engaging to bring you up. Let the right heel drop nice and heavy. Step the left foot up between the thumbs. Pivot the right heel into the middle. Get a strong base and rise up. Warrior one. Push into the pinky toe of that back foot. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale and lunge. Pivot open, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, lift. And come back to your warrior. Inhale, just the hands up. Exhale, interlace behind, maybe the other thumb on top. Push down and roll forward. Humble warrior. Release the hands. Press all the way back up. Pivot forward, high lunge. Paint the hands forward all the way down. Step the back foot up to the top, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, drop the hips, low chair. Use your muscles. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're gonna do it one more time. I'm adding one more shape. You guys got this. Pause for a brief second. If you need a sip of coffee, if you need a sip of water, if you need to shake something out, you need to find your reset button. Do it. You got 15 seconds. 15 seconds to do whatever you want. Take a breath. Pet your kitty. All right, back at the top of the mat. Mountain pose. Grounded through the feet, tailbone tucked, belly in, shoulders down, head lifting. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. Here we go. Inhale, breathe all the way up. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold all the way down. Step it back, tabletop or plank, do your thing. Meeting downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up. Exhale, step it up between the thumbs. Pivot the left heel in. Rise up, warrior one. Straighten the front leg. Exhale and lunge. Pivot open, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Lunge again. Straighten the front leg and hold. Triangle pose, right arm forward and down. Maybe this left hand lifts today. Maybe you challenge your balance and look up at the top hand. Bend the front knee, press back up, warrior two. Interlace the hands behind, press down, fold forward, humble warrior. Release the hands first. Press all the way back up, warrior two. Pivot to the front of the mat, high lunge. Paint two big stripes all the way down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up. We're going right to the other side. Step it up between the thumbs. Pivot the right heel in. Rise up, warrior one. Pinky toe side of that right foot presses down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lunge. Pivot open, warrior two. Inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale and lunge. Inhale, straighten and hold. Exhale, triangle pose. Long through both sides of the rib cage. Bend the front knee, press it up, warrior two. Interlace, maybe the other thumb on top. Lift the heart open, roll forward, humble warrior. Release the hands, press back up to the top. Release, pivot forward, high lunge. Big paint stripes all the way down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Coming forward, bring the knees to the earth. Gently touch down. Toes together, knees out, heart to the earth, hips to heels, child's pose, and take a couple of breaths. And one more time, deep breath in, long breath out. We're gonna make our way to our backs. So I'm gonna come up through table, swing it around and roll it down. That works for me. You wanna get there another way? Well, that's just fine and dandy. We're gonna come to a nice bridge base here. Walk the feet in, but you don't need to like bring them all the way up to your torso, right? Leave yourself a little bit of space here. Should feel like a comfortable base where you have some control by pressing through the feet in how the hips move, right? Palms can come to the earth on either side of the hips, or you can hold on to the mat. Sometimes that grip is really nice. Inhale, we're going to drop the tailbone and lift the belly up. Exaggerate the curve of the low back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Really press that back down. Core engages. Do it again. Inhale, drop the tailbone, lift the belly. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, flatten the back. Last time, drop the tailbone, lift the belly. Tuck the tailbone, flatten the back. Inhale, drop the tailbone, lift the belly. We're going to add on. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, flatten the back. Tailbone is curling under and almost up. Roll, push through the feet, roll those hips up. They don't have to come, to here. You can just lift the hips barely. Knees squeeze in and forward. Quads, hams, and glutes are engaged. Shouldn't be too hard to find those. We've been using them all class. And now what's happening in the muscles and tendons around the hips to stabilize you in this position? It's the legs causing the lift, but it's the muscles and tendons of the hips that are allowing you to hold this shape. Exhale, slowly. Tailbone stays tucked as long as possible. Feel each little section of the back as it comes into contact with the earth. And let's do it again. Inhale, drop the tailbone, lift the belly. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, flatten the back. Inhale, roll to the sky. And pause. Push the feet actively down. You can be here without pushing through the feet, right? You can sort of hover at the earth. But when you engage the legs and the glutes and push down through the feet, you're going to find a slightly different sensation in the shape here today. Exhale, slowly roll it back down. Tailbone is tucked. We're going to do it just one more time. Drop the tailbone, lift the belly. That's kind of a nice little stretch. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, flatten the back. Feel that low back really push down into the ground. Press through the feet, engage the muscles of the legs. Roll up, your version of bridge today. Maybe you walk the shoulder blades a little closer together under the back. Knees again, squeeze in and forward. Push the feet down. Turn those muscles on. And then if you walk shoulder blades, draw them back out. Ease all the way back down. And take the right knee in the right hand and the left knee in the left hand. Rock a little side to side. And then we'll circle the right knee right and the left knee left. Let the legs be super heavy. Hands are doing the guiding around. And they go in the other direction. And settle back in, knees to chest. Keep the left knee in, reach the right heel up. Might even turn the ankle, circle it around, wiggle the toes. And maybe we start to rock this right foot out and in, keeping the heel pressing up. You can put a little bend in the knee if the hamstring is like, I don't want to be all the way straight right now. Then come all the way back up. Lower the right leg all the way down to the mat. And we'll take the left knee over across the body. Spinal twist. This is bliss. And we're going to release back to center. Hold the left knee in. Last time, put the right foot flat on the ground. Cross the left ankle over. And then we'll start to open the left knee away from the torso and then let it squeeze in. Just a little internal, external rotation play. How does it feel? And then let's hold it open for a moment. And then if you like, you can draw that right leg into the chest. And if you want a little more hamstring love, maybe you bring that right foot up towards the sky. Figure 4 variation. See if it changes if you flex the left foot or point the left foot versus simply allowing the left foot to sit there. I personally like it flexed. It just gives a little more oomph to my stretch. And release all the way down. Uncross the legs, feet wide, knees together. Wrap yourself, give a big hug. Put the right arm on top to start. Walk the hands all the way under as far as you can, and then push the elbows down away from your face. And then release the arms and release the knees, and we'll take the right knee into the chest. And lift the left foot up to the sky. Circle the ankle, point and flex, wiggle toes, maybe turn that foot side to side. Remembering that that whole leg rotating in and out, it's not so much about the ankle as it is about the femur, your thigh bone, rotating in the hip socket. And maybe you let it sway a little side to side. And then float that left foot all the way back down to the ground. Notice if you could keep the core engaged so that the back stays into the earth. And then we'll draw that right knee over, spinal twist. This is bliss. Reach the right arm out and away. I'm actually going to grab my block for this side because the ground is very far away from me. So I'm going to make a little shelf so that my right shoulder can stay nice and anchored. And then we'll release, keep that right knee in. Bring the left foot flat and cross the right ankle over. Open that right knee away, a little external. Pull that knee in towards your heart, internal. And just see, does this hip feel different than the other one? It most definitely does in my body. And hold it open for a moment. And we'll, if you like, we can draw both knees in, holding at that left hamstring. Maybe you lift the left heel up, figure 4 variation. And again, see how it feels different if you flex or point the right foot, as opposed to simply letting the foot sit there. And we'll release it all the way down, uncross. And again, left knee in the left hand, right knee in the right hand. Oh, I said it backwards that time. Maybe we again open the knees in opposite directions, or maybe you like to keep them together and circle around. Find a little easy. We can even just rock side to side, whatever serves. And then we'll hold it in the center. Flex the right foot up. Hold outside, inside arch, or even peace fingers hook the big toe. Pull that right knee down. This is a half happy baby. If this feels better in your body, stay here. I will cue you when to switch sides. If you like a whole happy baby, well, Bring the left foot up as well. Today, bring the feet a little wider. Go definitely outside hip distance. Maybe even rock a little side to side to get started. And then see if you can't settle in and hold. Elbows inside knees. If you're on one side, switch to the other. And after you find some nice movement, pause. For some stillness. One more breath in. Long breath out. Gently release the foot or the feet. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open. Start with a little easy movement here. A little rock side to side. Just notice how that feels in your body. And then if you do have props handy, you're welcome to use them here for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. Soles of the feet together, knees out. Maybe you come into this shape and like, oh, this is where my feet go. From there, either move them a little closer or a little further away. It doesn't need to be a big shift to have an effect. So this is where my feet landed. I'm actually going to go a little closer into my body today because that feels nice. Maybe you bring one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Notice what's happening in your back and with your tailbone. Is there a natural curve in the low back, or are you shifting in a way that creates an artificial shape? And if you are, can you relax and allow the shape of the back, the natural curve of the spine to just be what it is? So don't push the tailbone down. Don't forcibly tuck it up. Just let it be long and sit. We're going to start to deepen the breath. We're here for one more minute, letting the hips unfold. One more really deep breath in. Long, easy breath out. Push the feet together. Hands come outside the knees. Please, please, please use your hands to help the legs come up and in. Take your time. Shift your blocks out of the way. And then you've got some choices here. If you want to take a restorative bridge, if that feels good for your body, then bring a plop a prop under the low back here and just let the hips rest. You're more than welcome to take this resting shape. If you need a little easy movement, then take the feet out to the edges of the mat and windshield wiper. Really, really, really slowly. So slow the breath way, way, way down and slow the movement to match the slow breath. If you want a little more core engagement, then draw the knees into the chest and slowly, slowly, slowly use the muscle control to bring the knees over to the right. And then maybe pause for a moment or a breath. And slowly, slowly, slowly draw those knees back up. And take your time going to the other side. I want you to look like you're in the Matrix. You're moving that slowly. And if you haven't seen that movie, then I will have to think of another reference for you, but slow motion. where I would actually have to stare at you for a second to actually see that you're moving. You're moving in such small increments. About a minute left. So restorative bridge, windshield wipers, or knees to chest windshield wipers. Notice whatever shape, if you're moving, if you're taking either version of windshield wiper, notice if one side feels a little easier to control than the other. For the record, my answer to that question is yes, I do have one side that just smooths over, slow and easy, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. And the other side sort of feels like clunk, 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 clunk. Hold on, wait, no, slow to get down. It's good information to have. And what it says to me is that the harder side, the oblique controlling that movement, is not as strong as the other side, which means I spend more time working one side than the other, which is not uncommon. So this will be a drill we'll be seeing again. Okay, come back to center. Everybody, if you've got a prop, move it. Right knee in the right hand, left knee in the left hand. If you got a last stretch you need, if you need a shoulder stand or a plow pose, or if you need an extra minute of Shavasana, you can start to make your way out to whatever your last shape is going to be. Got a kitty over my head, so no plow pose for me today. I won't do that to you, Mimsy. She looks very happy about that news. Take what you need here. And in about 30 seconds, we're going to meet in whatever your final resting shape is for today. All I ask is that you take a shape that you don't need to switch sides in for Shavasana. That's kind of my thing. So a figure four, not great for Shavasana because you got to switch sides. Bound angle, great for Shavasana. So pick your poison and make your way down to the ground. Shavasana is actually a very challenging moment in practice for a lot of people. It requires a couple of things of us: not to wiggle, not to shift and move, to be still. And it's in the stillness that we have the opportunity to sit with ourselves, see what we brought to the mat today, see what came up through our movement today, which can be very uncomfortable some days. Being human is not for wimps. Humaning well is challenging. Just getting to your mat, that's a big part of the battle, my friend. So big win for everybody today. And then you can start to let all of it go. To breathe easy, bring some softness. Give yourself that grace. Maybe come back to your mantra from the beginning of class. Notice if you maybe cultivated a little bit of it in practice today. Let the breath get really smooth and easy and deep. Tune out of the world, tune in to the inner world. Next few minutes are yours. Just sit with yourself. Welcome to Shavasana. Coming back to your connection to the earth, just shifting the mental awareness, not moving anything in the body just yet. Observing. And then from that place of observing your groundedness, start to deepen your breath. Maybe sweep the arms up and overhead and stretch the whole body long. Maybe you want to draw knees into chest or windshield wiper. Maybe you need to move wrists and ankles or fingers and toes. Find easy movement that brings you back to life. I have come back to life. It's from the Night of the Museum movies. That's at the Smithsonian. Pop culture reference of the day. Ease your way back up. Find your way back to a tall seat. Head over heart, heart over hips. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out the mouth. Take another one. Deep breath in the nose. Breathe out the mouth. Last time, in through the nose. Out through the mouth, hands at the heart center, bow the head. It is such a gift getting to share space with you all on Thursday mornings, and I'm super happy that our friend Jamie came back today. I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful rest of the day. Remember, flexibility plus strength equals stability, and not just on your yoga mat. Have a good one. Namaste.